Good afternoon and welcome to September 4th episode of Talk of the Tavern. I am your host Travis Sivart and I am staring at the weather. It's 91 degrees here. I'm in Virginia. It's got a high of 95, says it feels like it's 106. I was going to open my window and put the fan in it to maybe have a pipe. Yeah, I don't think so. It's a bit hot. So today it's not much on vices. I got some coffee here, iced coffee actually. And thank you for joining us. It's good to see you. You're my favorite, ever, just so you know. What am I doing today? I have a few things on my plate for today. First things I wanted to discuss though is right over here. I don't know if you guys know what Wish.com is, but I do. There we go. Flip over there. And I ordered a bunch of dice off Wish.com. There we go. You know what? I'm going to have to adjust this accordingly. Boink. There we go. And let's adjust that just a wee bit. There we go. That's a little better. So anyhow, dice. Ordered them. Got like 10 sets for $20 or $25, which is a good price if you know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, it might sound silly. But I then ordered dice bags off of it, thinking, oh, the usual dice bag is, 3 inches by 4 inches. It'll hold a full set of dice. And they weren't expensive, so I can't really complain, but this is what I got. It's like the size of 2 postage stamps. And I'm staring at these damn things going, those aren't going to fit. But I tried it, and they do. Just barely, but they fit. I'm like, well, there we go. Hello to whoever just popped in and joined me. Good to see you. I'm playing with my dice and my sack. My dice sack. So let's see here. Noisy, crinkly, damn paper, isn't it? So I'm going to put these things away, and then we're going to get on with the discussion of the day. It's see if I can find anything good. Generally, I'll check these 3 things. Yeah, I can't even get this in. I can't get it in. Let's put the big round ones on the bottom. Maybe that'll help. Something else I was worried about is with these dice in the dice bags, it might have to go in a particular order just to fit. So how's everybody's day going? Everybody doing okay? Having a good time? See? All those dice fit right into there. Hold on. Before I talk too quickly. There we go. And I'm going to do this for a minute, so bear with me. Now this stuff ships like straight from China. So I'm terrified about putting my mouth on it. Normally you grab something, plastic, you grab it with your teeth, tear it open. Not so much today. Not for me, at least. Checking the headlines. Really? I'm not a very deep person, but that's what they recommend because of my interests. Let's see. And How Rudy Giuliani turned into Trump's clown. But my interest is Spider-Man PS4 review. They're like based on your interests. Like, well, that's kind of shallow of me, isn't it? Says Facebook's family is getting smaller as several executives head for the exits in a turbulent year. This is not a surprise to me. Wait, I got something sharp and pointy. There we go. There we go. So here's something interesting. Here's something interesting. Well, looks like we got a hurricane, so I'm pulling up some interesting articles, at least interesting for me. We'll see how it goes from there. So let's see what we got there. Oh yeah, I want to read that. Got a few articles in here. So it looks like we have a hurricane in the Atlantic. For those of you not stuck on the Weather Channel anymore. Doesn't the Weather Channel kind of suck now? It's like, it's not the weather. It's all these... Like, you go to weatherchannel.com, and they're cool videos and everything, but I go there for the weather, specifically. And they're trying to compete with YouTube or something. I don't know what they're doing there. They have all kinds of videos. It confuses me. But it looks like there's a Hurricane Florence. We're already up to F, huh? I missed the other ones. More than an F, there's apparently a G out there, as Tropical Storm Gordon is going to strengthen and hit the Gulf Coast by tonight. Yeah, by tonight. Okay, good to know. Hold on, cat passing by. Whereas Florence might be heading for South Carolina. I don't think they're actually telling me that, but that's my prediction. And after years of successfully predicting storms, they have the trajectory for Gordon hitting landfall right between Louisiana and Mississippi. Then they have it tracking pretty much along those state borders and going possibly, potentially, all the way up to Illinois and the Great Lakes. That would be a kick-ass storm path. It'd just be fun to be in Wisconsin going, yeah, we got a hurricane. We got a hurricane. Nowhere is safe from Hurricane Gordon. When I think of Gordon, I think of the guy from Sesame Street. You know the black guy with the Steve Harvey mustache? Or I guess Steve Harvey actually has a Gordon mustache, doesn't he? Hey, I wonder if Steve Harvey is Gordon's son, because they do look a lot alike. Huh. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, everybody out there, keep it safe. Keep your head screwed on straight. Get out if it gets freaky. Or better yet, just get out early. Get out early. But I don't think Gordon's going to be much of an issue, and I don't expect Florence will either. Florence will have some damage and some news coverage, but it's I don't suspect it's going to be any Katrina. Do you remember who we had before Katrina? Before Katrina happened, we always talked about Andrew, which hit South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. I grew up in South Florida with hurricanes. Not like, like the hurricanes lived in my house and came over for slumber parties or anything like that. Just in general, around hurricanes. And we never panicked. And usually, what ended up happening is I moved a lot in my life. So it got to a point where once I was on my own and could actually move willy-nilly, as I will do, I timid to move, and the next hurricane season after I moved, there would be a major storm that would wreck the area. Happened more than once. I guess I was going to mute my phone. Okay, so, did you know the ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz had been stolen? Yeah, it looks like they were in Smithsonian, which is where I thought I last saw them. That's where I put them after I took them off. National Museum of American History. And they were stolen 13 years ago. They were stolen 13 years ago from the actress's birthplace. So I'm mistaken of having seen them. And again, it might have been longer than that since I've been there. Estimated to be worth at least a mil. And these are the same ones she wore in the film. Did she only have one pair? Like nowadays, you'd have like 20 different pair. But anyhow, they were stolen from the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Michigan in 2005. Basically, it was a smash and grab. Baseball bat involved. Off they went. You think somebody shows those in their house? They're like, hey, how are ya? This is my kitty Zazzles. This is where the bathroom is if you need it. And I have ruby slippers from the movie that I used a baseball bat to crush the display case. And ran away from it. Wait, what is this? The search for the famous ruby heels which Garland wore while playing Dorothy has taken the investigators to a collector's mansion in San Diego and to the bottom of the Tioga mine pit just outside Grand Rapids. But the slippers reported to have been in the collector's mansions were phonies, and divers found nothing at the bottom of the pit. FBI field office has not said where or how the slippers were found. Oh, it does say several pairs of ruby slippers were made for the film, and at least 4, including the stolen pair, are known to exist. One pair found in the basement of MGM's wardrobe department in 1970, bought for $15,000 by an anonymous buyer, donated to Smithsonian in 1979. It was removed in April 2017 to be preserved. So I did see them there. Really? The Smithsonian did a Kickstarter for that pair of shoes and raised nearly $350,000 through a Kickstarter campaign to pay for the restoration of the shoes. $350,000? I guess if everybody threw $1 at it, it's a possibility for people to get $350,000 out of something like that. But it feels... I don't know, it's a pair of damn shoes from movie people. I don't know. Okay, so Leonardo DiCaprio and Steven Spielberg bought one other pair. Did they split the cost? Did they hold hands while they did this? And I don't have a problem with that, I'm just saying. Was this like a date thing? Bought another pair for display at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. Then the other pair, the last pair, is owned by a private collector. The once missing slippers are owned by Michael Shaw, who lent the slippers to the Judy Garland Museum every year. And museum officials wanted to keep the slippers in a safe every night. Shaw didn't want people touching them and hurting them. So he put them in the plexiglass case. And yeah, they showed them. They shattered a plexiglass case with a baseball bat? It's impressive. Unless it was like really lousy seam glue. I don't know. Okay. So they found the ruby slippers. One of the 4 pair. So it looks like there's probably, air quotes, probably likely going to be a Cyberpunk 2077 tabletop RPG. Now, do I care? I like tabletop RPGs, role-playing games. Oh, this is the second time. Okay, there was a video game. Now they're working on a tabletop RPG. This article tells me nothing except it might happen. See the amazing 50-minute gameplay demo. I really enjoy tabletop role-playing games, but do you think there's really such thing as a amazing demo? Been 30 years, 31 years since the premiere of Star Trek Next Generation. It's a little crazy. 31 years. So apparently, Monday, Labor Day, they got together. And they had dinner. LeVar Burton, who was Geordie LaForge, Gates McFadden, who was Beverly Crusher and was a hottie, Patrick Stewart, of course, Jean-Luc Picard, Marina Sirtis, who is Counselor Troy, Brent Spiner, who is Data, Michael Dorn, who is Worf. Frakes did not make it. Neither did Whoopi or Will Wheaton. But that is actually amazing. I am going to put this picture up. Hold on a second. Let me flip over here and grab this. So give me a second while I adjust that screen a little bit for everybody. Just not adjusting right, is it? Okay, let's try this again. Okay, it's just not adjusting right, so you get to see my whole screen. That's that. That's all there is to it. Whatever. Okay. So you can see them in there. On the far left, LeVar Burton, then Gates McFadden, Patrick Stewart. They are kind of looking up there, aren't they? Wow. Let me see if I could do this. Open image, a new tab. There, it's a bit better. Can even make it larger. How cool would it be to be the two people behind him? I would have photobombed that shit. Really, Geordie? Are you on Facebook? What's wrong with you? So do you I think they're probably just beginning it. Michael Dorn in a cardigan. That idea entertains me. I have met Brent Spiner. He was not particularly fond of being where we were. He had about that same look on his face. Would like to meet the others, particularly LeVar, Michael, Patrick, and I almost called her Beverly. Anyhow, that sounds like a fun dinner. What were they getting together for, though? Okay, hold on, let me do this. Let me pop back to this view. So see if the article tells us anything else that I'm looking to know. Yeah, well, Patrick Stewart is 78 and he's going back on screen as Patrick Stewart, or as Captain Picard. Okay, oh, that Stream Elements thing reminds me. Let me write this out real quick, or at least pull it up and get it started. I gotta log in. And let's go down to, is it chat commands I'm looking for? No. Timers, right there. That's what I want. So, okay, right now I just have this one set up. And it's set up for every 30 minutes. See, I was debating on putting up another one of those auto-posting things. That basically tells people how to support. Let me check something here. Check something here. First, make sure the sound is coming through and everything here. Yep. Very good. Now scrolling down. Guess I can make a new one, but let's do this. Let's give it a name, call it support. Now let's grab do I not have there it is. Okay. Let's go fix this up. And hello to whoever just popped in. Good to see you. Let's do this. I don't know if I like this one. I do feel like there need to be a few chat lines before that comes in, though. There we go. We're going to put that there. I guess that will work. Let me adjust this one. Let's see. There we go. What else we got here? So we got check the. There we go. I think that's good. Okay, and I think I'm going to put a couple lines here also. No point in these things popping up if nobody's chatting, right? Or is there? Maybe there is. Because frankly, if they pop in... Yeah, I think that's all I'm worried about. I do have a schedule I'm going to put up. So I'll be working on that. That's actually what I was working on these things when I went on today. And yeah. Okay. So let's see what else we have here today. You know what I can do? Let's do this. Because we can, right? There we go. So yeah, it looks like they were just having dinner and nothing else very special on besides they took a picture together. Not terribly impressive, huh? I was hoping it was more than that. You know what? Maybe they're all just sucking up to Patrick Stewart to get back on the show. Hey, John, how are you? Good to see you. Stuck on, my friend. So I opened up a few sections. This is the general section of all the headlines. And that's what I'm primarily looking through. And here's some local stuff. Amazon stock value has crossed 1 trillion, joining Apple. I don't think I need to read more than that. Now here's something. I'm going into the other sections now that I'm actually more interested in. So let's start with this. Oh, what I was saying a few moments ago is before I got on air, I had planned to get on at 10 a.m. this morning, and I have a schedule that I'll be posting, which I'll pull it up right here. What we're looking at is basically Monday through Thursday, I get on at 10 a.m. and write till 1. At 1, I get to goof off with video games for 4 hours. Then 5 to 8, I do this right here, this chat thing. Now the gaming might be replaced by work, such as if I have to. Today I was looking at optimizing my YouTube, creating an outro, all these other things. I have had comments that people miss the shorter videos I used to do that were just 2-3 minutes long. They really enjoyed those and they're not there anymore and they want them back. So now it's only been a couple people. It hasn't been a huge outcry, but I figured I enjoyed doing them. Let's see if I can do some more of those. Now, one of my thoughts is to do them during the shows and just record them with the overlay and everything. Couldn't hurt, right? I just hit record and stop record or place markers, etc. So I'm considering both options is what it boils down to. But anyhow, 8 o'clock is pub time. So 8 o'clock on Monday, we'll be bringing everybody in. Ed, Elizabeth, Andrea, etc. Whereas Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be jumping over to Andrea's channel to play the tabletop role-playing games. Pub time. Pop back on at 11 and go ahead and just do a little more gaming or chit-chatting or whatever I'm in the mood for. Basically wrap it up till 1 to 2 in the morning. Because if I'm getting up at 9 a.m., I would shower at night. If I quit at 1, I'm in bed by 2, that's 7 hours sleep, I'm good. Generally, I'm good with 5 to 6, but I enjoy more. Okay, looking at other notes I have. Now, that would be Monday through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, due to my work schedule and other things, basically just be writing in the morning. But it's ultimately important because this gives me, once I finish the current book, which I'd meant to do this morning, but I didn't have the schedule up, so I wasn't committed to it yet. But that'll give me 21 hours a week of writing. Now, with that 21... Aww. Speaking of YouTube, somebody just left a comment that is too much potty mouth for YouTube. Oh well. It's I don't think I'll bother to reply to that one. Why bother? So anyhow, 21 hours, if I do 1,000 words per hour, that's pretty much 21,000 words. So within 2 to 3 weeks, I have a reasonably sized book used next week for going through it, cleaning it up, and then send it off to the editor. But I have to finish the 2 children's books and publish this other book first, so we'll see how that goes. I figure if I could put out a book a month, I'm in good shape. Now, here's an article. Google wants to kill the URL, and this is in Wired.com, and was published earlier today, a couple hours ago. So Google's Chrome browser turns 10 today. They're saying it introduced a lot of radical changes to the web. Auto updates, aggressively promoting web encryption, etc. Yeah, they're fundamentally rethinking URLs across the web. Now, I'm curious about this one. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locators. I probably knew that at some time, but I didn't have it in my head still. So we all know them. They're what you type in www.boogerhead.com or whatever / favorite boogers. So they're listed in Web's DNS address book, direct browsers to the right internet protocol addresses. So they've got a more difficult. Basically, the web is expanded, and this wasn't prepared for it, which that's why we have so many more than just .com, .net, and .org now. So what are they looking at doing instead? Okay, so people create websites that are misleading, basically hackers and abusers. Okay. So there doesn't look to be an easy answer. Even Google Chrome team is still divided on the best solution. A few things they're I'm worried they're going to make it more complicated, more difficult to use, which we'll learn it because we'll have no choice, but focus right now, they say, is on identifying all the ways people use URLs to find an alternative that will enhance security and identity integrity on the web, while also adding convenience for everyday tasks like sharing links on mobile devices. So it's in team discussion. Is that all we've got on this? Is we're talking about it? Now, Parisa Tabriz, Director of Engineering at Chrome, says, I don't know what it'll look like, but it's an active discussion on the team right now. I do know whatever we propose is going to be controversial. That's one of the challenges with a really old and open and sprawling platform. Change will be controversial, whatever form it takes, but it's important we do something because everyone is unsatisfied by URLs. They kind of suck. Okay, well, they had one thing, an origin chip, which showed the base URL. When you clicked on it, it showed the full URL. Okay, so not a lot of answers there. Kind of a lame article. Just saying, here's something you haven't thought about in a little bit, but everything we're telling you is obvious. Looks like Samsung is offering a vague tease for its foldable smartphone again. Curious what that'll look like. I do like the flip phones. I kind of miss them. So let's see what this one. No pictures. It folds sideways. So it's like one of these, but then you open it like a book. It may arrive as early as 2019. Don't buy the first generation, folks. Don't grab that first generation. I don't know if I need more screen. I guess it's nice because you can have your video on one screen. And are they using graphene yet? I don't think I care until they learn how to use graphene. So Fortnite's got an update going. So Skype is gonna... Okay, I gotta read this because we used Skype for the show quite a bit. And then we basically got out of it because it was bulky. So this is also from earlier today, about 2 hours ago. Microsoft is finally going to make the Skype UI good for the things people use. So the revolutionary approach of making Skype good at the things people use it for continues. See, this is part of the reason I left Skype, is because of the changes. It took away other things that I was already using and loaded it with crap I don't give a damn about. It looks like they're vigorous pushback against Microsoft's plan to kill off legacy versions of Skype client and unify every supported Skype platform on a single client. Hated it. Hated it. Yeah, they wanted Snapchat-like statuses and features, and I don't care. This is why we switched to Discord, and there we stay. We're fine. Uh-huh. With this new focus on calling and messaging, Skype was a calling and messaging app. Stop just trying to steal from these other guys and copy them. They could have called me. I would have told them. The voice of the people, I know what I'm talking about. I've been using it for years. Okay. So I'm going to pop this back over here, move this here. In science, Russia is trying to figure out how a tiny hole showed up in its Soyuz spacecraft. Russia says space station leak could be deliberate sabotage. It couldn't just be a grain of space debris flying by that popped a hole in it. I don't know. I am wondering, though. It's got a picture here. Let me see if I can get this picture up for everybody. No, that's the edge of the Earth. Never mind. It looked like a rainbow was coming out of it. I thought maybe that was the moisture in the air coming out, lighting up, and etc. Okay, so they originally thought it was an MMOD strike. Which, to be clear, let's see if I can get the exact definition of that abbreviation. Pardon me. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It could be. Could be there. Bob, how are you today, sir? But yeah, they have a picture of it, and yeah, it doesn't look like an MMOD. It looks like a drill hole. And they're like, yeah, it was a drill hole. Of course, it might have been a purposeful sabotage. Could have just been one of those things. We all sometimes like, oops. Oh, thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. I was going to work you into the book today. Briar Cub. Welcome back. Good to see you. F-Ed. That's right, you're in the lead now, sir. Good job. I just don't know. Purposeful sabotage. I think it's more like somebody screwed up and then tried to blame somebody else. Where did you two just come from? Did you just both log in simultaneously, or are you having lunch and you're like, hey, let's go harass Travis? Which I definitely appreciate, by the way. I'm going through articles and just giving my opinions. Now, if I was up against a blonde ASMR chick right now, I would not be on camera. I'd have about 3 minutes and then I'd be ready for a nap, Bob. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It looks like there was a fake photo from Cassini, which was the Mars or Saturn probe. Okay. NASA astronauts could soon have their faces on cereal packages. Would they mean boxes? Okay. Bob, I will address that comment in a moment. Tom, let's see here. I'm home early from the office, not feeling well after Kansas City Ren Fair, but it was a great weekend. Are you just like hungover, or did you eat something bad, or just too much sun and you're dehydrated and sunstroke? What's going on there? I'm glad to hear it. Sorry to hear you feel like crap. Bob, as for her... Okay, I was talking about this earlier, and this is not specifically about that chick, because I know who you're talking about. I went and unfollowed some folks today for a few reasons. First of all, I'm way too busy to sit here and just roam around Twitch watching shows. I like doing it, but I just don't. I've got other things to do. Now, thank goodness other people don't, otherwise my show wouldn't have all three of you here right now. So there's that. But I am kind of getting tired of these very attractive, beautiful women who basically get on and they are making a living because they giggle and jiggle. Now, as much as I like to see that, it's not something I want in a show. There are much better broadcasters who have much more personality go with their beauty of whatever standard you want to set it by. Some people would say some of these women aren't beautiful. No, they're fucking adorable or cute or whatever. So yeah, it's I kind of unfollowed a bunch of them who are, if you say you're going to do music, don't sit there giggling at the camera for 30 minutes before you play a song. If you say you're going to do art, don't sit there giggling at the camera for 30 minutes before you do art. Kinda, yeah. And there is nothing wrong with the booth babe mentality. Or the booth hunk. You want to put a big, pretty body right there to be eye candy to draw people in. That's great. Absolutely. If you are a beautiful hottie, male or female, and you want to base your channel around that shit so you pull people in, great. Just give me some other goddamn content to go with it. Because staring at you, you know what? I know how to find porn. Shit, speaking of which, I could be watching porn right now instead of talking to you dudes. Well. What you gonna do? Wow, with the new schedule. Were you guys here when I was talking about the new schedule? Basically, Monday through Thursday, I'll be going from 10 a.m. till about 1 a.m. every day. That's true, high definition. And also a lot more hygiene going on nowadays than the 70s. So, Thomas, I don't know if you heard me, but why are you feeling like crap, dude? What'd you do at the Ren Fair? Is it just heat and exhaustion? Are you hungover? Did you eat something bad? Or did you just not want to be at work after going to... But yeah, Monday through Thursday, I'll get on at 10 a.m., do 3 hours of writing, and then 1 to 5 I will either do gaming, like Star Wars, The Old Republic, or work, such as editing videos, etc. Then 5 to 8, I'm going to do chat, which is what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to move it 5 to 8. 8 o'clock, Mondays, of course, there's a regular Talk of the Tavern programming. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Andrea's game on her channel. And then after that's done, maybe a little bit more gaming before bed. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll just be doing the 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. writing, so I can keep the writing up. Let's see here. Tom says, I think it was the heat, even when I feel awful. I'm still at least come in as long as I can. I have so much sick PTO built up. Oh, good. No, I'm glad you have the time. I'm the guy that always uses mine, because most jobs I have, they're like, use it or lose it. End of the year, you're done. And I'm like, man, screw you. I will use it. And then they're like, I'm sorry, you used too much of your sick time. I'm like, yeah, it's use it or lose it. Pretty much screw you. Watch SpaceX's Dragon bid farewell to space station in this credible 4K video. I don't think I care. $200 hours left. Huh. Time for an 8-week vacation, apparently. I'm doing the math, hold on. Yeah, I can't get the math. I think I overdid it. You do 40 hours a week? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're on the clock for? So yeah, it'd be 5 weeks. Apparently I'm giving you 3 extra weeks because I like you. But yeah, that's something you can do, especially if they'll allow you, is you just plan, I'm going to Europe and take 2 weeks. And the reason I say 2 weeks, you spend 10 days in Europe, but you want 3 days after you get back to recover. Okay, that's an interesting schedule. That's not a bad schedule. You're welcome. I'm here to help you with those extra weeks. So here's an article, Planet 9. Ancient tapestries, texts may help expose the solar system's biggest mystery. Now I'm guessing this is, it's Fox News, Newsweek in particular. I'm guessing what they're going to say is basically these texts being exposed has shown solar radiation or some shit like this, as opposed to them actually discovering something hundreds of years ago. Up. First image says I'm wrong. Let me show you guys this. Let me pop this over here and do this for you. That's 2 days I'm not required to take a lunch. That's not a bad thing, man. It's a good way to go. You know, it is not letting me adjust the way I normally do. This is bothering me. I don't know. So anyhow, if you look in this tapestry, you'll see right up here this. So let's see what it says. Okay, so it features a depiction of 1066 Halley's Comet. Something lurking in the interstellar murk beyond Neptune, almost certain exactly what it is. It's truly the elusive Planet 9. You mean Pluto? So they're looking for something big but distant. Series of studies of abnormal orbits of large icy asteroids and planetoids on the fringe of our solar system points to one obvious explanation, that something had to have tossed them out of their original paths. You know, I was curious about that. It seems like our solar system, and I'm not an astronomer. Okay, so when we represent our solar system in any kind of imagery, it's always sun in the middle, everything else expanding this way. Now, I know those tilt, but are they all on the same flat axis within a few degrees? Or do we have some going this way and some going this way, like an atom, theoretically, with electrons, etc.? They're all flat disk, aren't they? They're all within a same certain range of, like the rings of Saturn. That's how the planets are around the sun. Why haven't we shot a probe straight up? In other words, if it is a flat disk, why aren't we firing a probe straight up? Instead of going past all the planets, shoot that thing straight up. I'm curious if our whole solar system is wrapped in a sphere of debris. And that could be why we have life like we do here. Because of this field of debris around us, there might be significantly less meteor strikes that would destroy life, etc. So anyhow, going on with this article. They say it sounds like a planet threw this rubble out. Either way, calculations of gravity necessary to push about the distant objects beyond Neptune indicate it must be 5 to 20 times more massive than Earth. Okay, but let's look at... And thank you, Bob, for the answers, by the way. I did see them. So this isn't even as big as Saturn or Jupiter. Okay. So they're staring at, inferred a rough outline of the perturber's potential elliptical orbit. Okay, so it could be very far away, and it could be hundreds, if not thousands of years before it swings back into view. Okay, this right here, I'm going to read this sentence, not that sentence, this sentence. So it says, beyond a certain distance, measured as astronomical units, even a planet 10 times more massive than Earth would be all but invisible. Do not use the phrase all but in a scientific article, because that means it would be everything except invisible, which means it would be visible. Bad grammar. Idiot talk. I don't care if it's acceptable now and they flip the meaning, like literally meaning figuratively now. Fuck you. Use your language. Yeah, we can evolve and get new slang, but okay, I'm done. Moving on. So basically, it's not reflecting enough light for us to see it. 600 more times than the Earth is from the Sun. Okay, it gives you numbers. It's quoting numbers. It's trying to overwhelm you and impress you. Guy says he'll probably find it. He's got a telescope in Hawaii. So, they're scouring. I just enjoy, if you're going to define something, Bob, use the language properly to define it. In casual conversation, it doesn't bother me, and I'm sure Joey and I would get along great. You and I get along great, Tom, and, like mine's birds of a feather and all that stuff. But, yeah, it's... I don't know. If you're going to use the language to define things and use it correctly, that's all there is to that. And use the goddamn Oxford comma. Don't be a barbarian. And again, there they did it. Again, speaking of Oxford comma, right there. Take a gander at the records of the commas in Old English, comma, Latin, comma, Old Irish, no comma, and Russian writings. So that means the Old Irish and Russian are together. They're the same writings. Idiots. Oh, and it's Fox News. They probably have a 23-year-old editing the goddamn articles. And probably a 26-year-old writing them. So, I'm suddenly old and crotchety. Get off my lawn! Comma! So, they're looking through these old inscriptions, pictures, tapestries, etc. Because they have found other things in the sky, like Halley's Comet, which I showed in that first one. But apparently they have not found this because they didn't show a damn picture of it. Yeah, they can look through all the tapestries they want, but there's no guaranteeing exactly what it is. Did it take them 3 years or 3 days to weave that damn tapestry? We don't know. Well, maybe we do. I get the feeling that telescopes and technology will find it before a historian or archaeologist scouring through thousands of tapestries. But then again, if we just scanned them all in and then had a computer look for it, there you go. Well done, Tom. So for me, it'd be more like, get off my lawn, my ass, and my back. Or my bullocks. Okay, let's not put that up. Let's put that back over here. I'm done ranting about that. For the moment. Give me a second. It's the news. I'm not done ranting about that, apparently. It's the news, people. There is a certain presentation of education, of validity to the information based on how they present it. Whatever. Oh, and by the way, that was Fox News. There is another article related to it with Does Planet 9 Exist? A mysterious object will soon have nowhere to hide. Best planet ever. And that was the last we ever saw of Bob. Yeah, so Bob says, for those of you listening, and by the way, I should go ahead and say this now. If you're listening to us and you're not joining us on twitch.tv/Talk of the Tavern for the live broadcast, and thank you for listening on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, or wherever you found us. Now, for those of you who are watching, don't forget below the screen you can share and let your friends know to come hang out with you. Also, make sure you have the notifications turned on so it lets you know when we're broadcasting. And by the way, I think Bob, John, and Tom all do have that, so I'm not talking to you guys, but everybody else is lurking. You can also join my Discord channel to keep up with us when we're not on air, or throw your comments in when nobody else is around. And follow the newsletter that I send out about once a week, and I'll be doing on air starting next Monday. If you want to support us, you can support us by donating using the button below that says Tip Your Tavern, or you can throw bits, buy merch, support us on Patreon, subscribe, which you can do for free if you have Amazon Prime, or pay a few bucks and help us. Thanks, Bob. I think that's all I got to run down here. I think that's all I have here. I think so. Yeah, I think we're good. Oh yeah, if you're watching now, you want to catch us later. Briar Cub, Tom, this might apply to you. We are on Google Play. We're on Overcast. I think that's the name of it. iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spreaker, Stitcher. So you can catch most of the shows. The 3-hour blocks. I don't put up 10, 12-hour blocks, but yeah, catch us there. Okay, so as I was saying, Bob here says, need to discover a planet of large breast women. I assume he meant breasted women, as opposed to here's a female boob to go with Bob. Waiting to discover him and call it Planet Motorboat. Then Tom says, I'm always up for a good Oxford Cormorant. I think I've healed at least a few hit points. Briar Cub, does that mean you're available to join one of our weeknight tabletop role-playing games? We need somebody else for the steampunk monster hunting game. And we need somebody else for the Star Wars game. Were you guys here when So, I got a YouTube comment recently, just a few minutes ago. Somebody named Totally Frozen commented on... this is back before we had overlays, still had the chat on the screen. This is from February. Really, was it just that long ago? Nice advances since then. Oh, and thank you for the bits there, Tom. Appreciate that, man. So we did a vaudeville show with Madamance and Paulo. Somebody just commented, too much potty mouth for YouTube. Drug references too. Come on, guys. Didn't even finish the video. I'm like, apparently this is they're just a vaudeville fan. But do they not know where vaudeville came from? Vaudeville it was adult entertainment. Adult entertainment. This isn't something that, I don't know. I feel like they're a bit out of touch. Is that you, Bob? Too much swearing? Too many drug references in Talk of the Tavern? Do you need your safe space? Do we trigger you, Bob? Welcome back! Look, guys, it's Andrea Lachat. She's creeping in. She's walking on her hands and feet backwards, arced. It's very creepy. She gave me my scissors back.
I ran with those.
You ran with these? What's all the dirty smudges on it? What did you... And it's all sticky. Can I use one of your cleaning things?
Well, that's why I said crappy scissors. I had to use it for the...
No, the kitchen scissors are crappier than these. These are my paper cutting scissors for my office. Can I have one of your wipes? Bring me a wipe. You need dice bags? I'm talking to Bob, Tom, and John. I have like the rogues gallery of common named guys hanging out with me today. I just made that, or added to that today. What just popped on the chat screen there. Check below the video for links to the newspaper, merch, social media, donating, wish lists, subscriber perks, and more. Listen when we're not online via iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. Yeah, I guess that works. Bob says you could be the queen of the planet of big breast women who are searching for Bob. He would call it Planet Motorboat.
I don't have. Give me that. I'm not a big-breasted woman, Bob, but you're a boob.
I did. It made me think of Bob with 2 O's. And Briarcup's not feeling well after partying all weekend at the Ren Fair.
Oh, you youngins and your parties. You don't know how to do it right.
And then he mentioned hip points, so I invited him into one of the games. Either steampunk monster hunting or the. These are loose now. I might need new scissors.
I didn't do all that to it.
Whatever. She broke my scissors, guys.
I didn't have the scissors.
See, I grew up with a mother that sewed, so she always had those special scissors that you weren't allowed to touch.
I have some and they're labeled.
Yeah. Well, I have some too. They're not for cloth or anything. They're just for me because they're not broken.
What is it
Well, they
saying?
weren't. The last comment from Bob there. Flash them and I'll let you know if you can come to my planet. I think he means come to my planet. Do you need one of these? I barely used it.
Don't wipe on it.
Is that a yes or a no? Do you have any other use for it? Can I just throw it away?
I don't need it.
How about I clean the handles? You touched them. So I read something on Fox News. Horrible grammar. No Oxford commas, and they use the phrase all but.
Oh, but?
No. Like the planet would be all but invisible, meaning it would be invisible, when they just said it would be anything except invisible.
Did you send them corrections?
I didn't just mark it up with red. No,
Do
but
it.
Tom was agreeing with me. Oh, wait, he's got a comment for you.
Who?
I stopped being Tom Briarcup. I stopped being a youngin' quite some time ago, specifically September 27th, 2014. But that's a long story for another time. Wait a minute. You're close to our age. I know you're over 40, right, Tom? So that's just 4 years. Is that the first time you got laid? Or is that the first time you, had a prostate check?
No.
Or it could be the first time he, had hair growing out of some place where it didn't grow the past 20, 30 years before that.
What is it? We're waiting.
That's right. Show's all about you now, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Spit it out.
Oh.
That's what he said. Oh, where did this go? Back in, you don't need it in the drawer, kitty.
Okay.
You got something? Oh, back injury. Okay, see, yeah, it's the equivalent to the prostate exam. The first time you get an old person injury. You know, hey, I've fallen and I can't get up.
I got an old person injury a long time ago, though.
Which one was yours?
I broke my hip.
That is not, no.
Old people break their hips.
But you broke it in a car accident when you got T-boned by an 18-wheeler.
Whatever.
Most old people just walk across the room and it happens. Bob says last prostate check, doctor had both hands on my shoulders.
Is that why you see him weekly now, Bob?
I got another prostate problem. You're cheaper than a hooker. Just a copay and a little bit of action. Yeah, baby. We got a complaint on one of the YouTube videos. The vaudeville one with Ansa and Paulo.
They complained about them?
They said there was too much potty mouth for YouTube and drug references. And they're like, come on, guys.
There was drug references?
There usually is on our show, whether it's drinking or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, but at least they watched it. Are they going to watch the others and bitch about
They
it?
did say they didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, then they need to shut up.
And but there's a fucking disclaimer right in the beginning.
People don't read.
Back injury following the marathon. Wasn't pretty. You let me know if you want to come on. I'll bring you on if you want to come on. Do you need some dice bags? Little teeny adorable dice bags?
We went through this.
Is that a no? Because you have a whole bunch of things in there.
Just
Well, don't be like that. Can I have a couple back when you're done
Oh
with
my
them?
God! Give me what you don't want.
Why you gotta throw it to
Oh,
the
you
cat?
can pull her claw out. Oh my God! See, guys, something's wrong. Oh, don't knock her over.
Vaudeville means a voice of the city, after all. You know, the thing is, and Tom, I think you were here a few minutes ago, unless you stepped away for a minute. Vaudeville was set up as adult entertainment. It was not a family show. So, do we need to swear? No, we don't need to swear.
We do. Because we can. If people don't like it, don't watch. If you don't like it, tell your friends.
Huh.
So everybody can check it out and be offended.
I was going to have a pipe, but then I looked at the weather and it's like,
Yeah, it's about
feels
right.
like 106 degrees. And I'm like, nope. With 100% humidity and 106...
Well, I walked outside and it's like heat punched me in the face and it's about to rain.
Did I have another one?
I don't know.
I thought I had
really-
another set of dice. Here,
Bye,
just
guys.
take it with you. Here. I keep on making her come back. Let's see how many times we can do this. You want to catch? I know you want to. I just don't know if you can. I guess sketchbooks.
I'm not coming back.
Ow! I broke my hip!
So is Greg coming on tomorrow?
No, he was just for the month of August.
Oh.
So I have to go see when we have our next guest. Briar Cub, as for your question of who needs a humidor time of year, yeah. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 humidors. And at one point in time, they were all full. But that was years ago. And, yeah, I've got one with something in it now. And if I'm not mistaken, it's about 9 cigars, and then I'm done. Ooh, this is fun stuff. Okay, I like this. It is. So here's a few news articles. God, I got wood for this one, guys. Oh, you can see all 8 planets in one night this week. I have to check that out, too. Okay. So the first article... Give me a second, it's loading. Tom, what do you enjoy smoking? I like full-body, full-flavored cigars, so things like La Gloria Cubana, Series R Black, CAO Brasilia is okay, Asylum 13s are good. So, while you answer that, I'm going to start this article. Scientist... Fucking ads. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Yeah, there's probably that. Probably that. So scientists have invented a way to create unlimited renewable energy by turning sunlight into fuel in a milestone discovery. Wouldn't this be called solar powered? This came out 3 hours ago. So the bullet points are: the technique involves using semi-artificial photosynthesis. It can create an unlimited source of hydrogen for renewable energy. And they did it by using a mixture of photosynthesis and man-made technologies. I'm skimming. Okay, researchers from the University of Cambridge reached a milestone by splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. They did it through a technique called semi-artificial photosynthesis, basically mimicking how plants do it. So hydrogen, which is produced when the water is split, could be potentially a green and unlimited source of renewable energy. Okay, so Bob says give me oil and gasoline over that creating power from hydrogen. I'm guessing you're fearing explosions in this one, Bob, as to unless you're just trolling in general. Oh yeah, those are some good. I like lanes 1Q, just because that's the kind of standard that everybody starts with. You gotta smoke it slow. But when it comes to that, I tell you what, if you want a good one, Autumn Evening by Cornell and Deal is really good. And other than that, I like Cross-Eyed Cricket. It's almost like an aromatic Latakia. So let me look more on this article. Yeah, it's a lot of goddamn ads on this. So researchers did this split by reactivating hydrogenase, an enzyme present in algae that can reduce protons into hydrogen. So oxygen is produced as a byproduct when water is absorbed. Okay, so I'm curious, could we over-oxygen our planet? I'm curious about that. Could we release too much oxygen into the atmosphere? And if that's the case, can we instead store it and bring it somewhere else? Use it on the space station, etc. Interesting. It says here, their method also managed to absorb more solar light than natural photosynthesis, according to the paper published in Nature Energy. Quote, natural photosynthesis hold on, Bob. Natural photosynthesis is not efficient because it has evolved merely to survive, so it makes the bare minimum amount of energy needed, around 1 to 2% of what it could potentially convert and store, said Katarzyna Sokol. Okay, yeah, that's what it says. Artificial photosynthesis has been around for decades, but it has not been successfully used to create renewable energy. It's because it relies on catalysts, often expensive and toxic. So did they figure out a way to do it without making it expensive and toxic? You ever feel like they're just padding the damn article for word count? Please give me the relative information that I want and need to understand what's going on. Okay, so they think they found something and they're hoping to do stuff with it. Exciting. Oh boy, it's another thing. Oh, new atlas. I don't know. Scientists awaken dormant enzymes to get artificial photosynthesis a boost. I think this is just a related article. Bob, I don't think we should counter with methane. They are already blaming methane saturation as part of the problem for global warming, and that's just from cows eating and farting. Let's see here. Bob says we can make power from hydrogen, but need more nuclear plants to create the energy to do it, or dig up more coal. I see what you're saying, Bob. Yeah, well, that's a thing. Is it's not like we make hydrogen and then put it in a bottle, you bring it home and power your house with it. There's a conversion process to turn that. I'm wondering if there's something better than electricity. Because electricity we create using fossil fuels. Sure, maybe we clean everything up in our cars and solar power, but no, we can create electricity from solar power. I guess for oils we're going to have to go to corn oil or some kind of vegetable oil for lubrication of our machines. Yeah, Tom, I was thinking so. Now let's see if this one has as much padding. At first I thought you said I'm detecting a paddling here. That's a paddling. So you guys, I know Bob, you've at least heard me go on about graphene. How is this not being used in conjunction? Okay, so this article, we can make superconductors that operate at normal temperature. We could reduce the need of power by a large amount. I know they're working on that. You know, it just makes me wonder how much further along as a species we would be if we could combine research and work together. And by we, I mean different countries. I'm not even saying a one world government or anything like that. But, yeah, the bottom line is if we got along well enough that anywhere from the superpowers such as ourselves, Russia, China, could trade information about things like this, to small countries where they figure out how to purify water using aspirin and a wish, how much further along would our species be as a whole? Would we already be populating other planets? Would we... You're right. You're right, Bob. And it's a shame, and that's potentially selfishness and greed with a nice dash of laziness. That'll be the downfall. The indirect cause of our downfall, I should say. As a species. We'll kill ourselves because of those damn things. Because we won't be willing to change. Okay, so once again, what the hell is this article about? Awake dormant enzymes to give artificial photosynthesis a boost. So again, University of Cambridge say they can produce better results by reactivating a natural mechanism that vanished through billions of years of plant evolution. Huh. In nature, plants convert sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water into carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. Sorry, they missed the Oxford comma. With oxygen produced as a byproduct. Is this the same article as the last one? Trigger process often made from materials cost prohibitive. Toxic? Well, this does sound familiar. Is this the same damn article? Did they just basically... Yes. Same article. They ripped it off from the other place. Okay, on to the next article. God, how many banners do they really need across? Hong Kong scientists develop new nano swarm robots. Now, Thursday night game, the superhero one, is near future. Nanotechnology has gone on the rise, so I'm interested in this one. Okay. Develop new nano swarm robots. This is in Hong Kong. This is CNN.com that I'm on right now. So it's a groundbreaking new method of controlling nano robots that emulate natural swarm behavior. It's the first step in what's hoped to lead to a major medical advancement in the treatment of blood clots. It defines nanites, nanotechnology, nanorobots are minuscule robots or machines measured in nanometers, 1 nanometer equivalent to 1/1000th of a meter. They can be used to complete nanoscale mechanical tasks such as moving molecules with precision and mobility. Well, that's kind of cool. You know, I feel like I need to throw this into Discord for the Thursday night gaming group. So hold on while I pull up Discord. Okay. Okay. Talking to Kennedy. Now, going back over to here. Which one? I want this one. There we go. Maybe that'll interest them. Probably not, but we'll see. Wow, that was quick. Kennedy, are you there? So I got a Joe, a Tom, a John, and a Bob. It's a generational thing. It's that generation's naming structure. So anyhow, nanotechnology. And Kennedy, if you are here, there you go. You're here now. I can talk to you on here. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's a bit public and it's being recorded, and anybody else can listen to it later. Or I can, I'll be broadcasting straight up into the game tonight. So this is why I tried to get a hold of you, I don't know, 5 days ago. So I tell people, get on Discord. It's not just you that does that. Okay, so the nanobots. Paddling, lubrication, nanobots. I'm all over the place. Is that why you got quiet for a couple minutes, Tom? Did you have that mental image and need to sit back and just bask in that for a minute? So they basically reconfigured ribbon-like swarms of nanorobots into clumps. Millions of magnetic nanoparticles, each less than 1 micron wide, or 1/5 the length of a blood cell, red blood cell in particular. But I'm curious with the nano robots. They're not individual machines because we can't even make a damn... How do they work? Is it like those things, remember when we were kids, we'd have the iron shards and a little plastic thing with the face, and you'd make a beard, and you'd make hair, and make eyebrows, and a mustache, and all that? Is it like that? How do they do these? Because if it's not a nanobot, it's just a nanoparticle, that sounds like what they'd be doing then, and basically they're just breaking up blood clots by running these through your veins, using a magnet to guide it. But it says here, as programmers tune the applied magnetic fields, a microswarm of nanorobots is capable of performing a wide range of structural changes, including extending, shrinking, splitting, and merging, all done with a high degree of accuracy. Tom, when you said that was one of my favorite toys, I was thinking, what, the paddling or the lubrication? And then I realized, oh, you mean the magnetic face thing. My bad. Moving on. Nanobot swarm can be operated in a controlled fashion, high speed. See, Oh, they haven't even used this stuff in living beings yet. Because they're talking about the complex transformation of the nanorobots could be completed within the systems of living human and animal bodies. Hope surgeons can manipulate the nanorobots to pass through highly compact spaces within organs and blood vessels. I remember Stretch Armstrong. Yeah, and now he has a cartoon series where there's like 5 different Stretch Armstrong characters, and I'm like, eh? Yeah, he was like Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan, with his blonde hair and his yellow briefs, I guess. It's yeah, what a useless toy. So I have a toy I can stretch, and if I break it or cut into it, it bleeds this red jelly-like goo. You know, if I want that kind of thing, I'd make friends with the kid across the street. So yeah, I guess we're just guiding these through things using magnetic stuff. But you know what? It says here, in particular, the nanorobots could be used to address gastrointestinal diseases by maneuvering through the gastrointestinal tract. Expected to see the nanorobotics technology to clinical applications in 5 years. They're doing animal studies right now. Huh. So they wanted to emulate swarm behavior found in nature. Yeah, birds, fish, insects, and even bacteria exhibit swarm behavior. And I don't think I knew that about bacteria, but it makes sense. If I ever thought about it, it should have. According to Zhang, the project was also influenced by depictions of nanorobots in movies and pop culture. Quote, one such movie was Big Hero 6. In Big Hero 6, they show some concepts related to micro-robot swarms. Another one was Transformers, which showed how a robot dog invaded a base by deploying hundreds upon thousands of small robotic spheres. Can you imagine watching some sci-fi and suddenly you're like, oh my god, that's a great idea. I gotta get to the lab. That would be awesome. Closing sentences of the article is a quote from Zhang, the scientist that we've been quoting here. Quote, I always tell my students, let's work together and have an adventure because we are still learning. We'll see what lies in store. Good quote. Good quote. Now, what is this last article? How to see all 8 planets in one night this week. Why do you think they go like that? I guess it's just nature. When things are in orbit, do they naturally line up? Did they influence each other? Were they originally going all directions? And if so, is that how we got the asteroid field between Mars and Earth? It is, Tom, I agree. It's a great way to live life, but it's a great way to end an article also. So with the planets, I'm back on this, guys. I wonder. Now, it's theorized that the asteroid field between Mars and Earth was another planet. Oh, is it between Mars and Jupiter? I don't know. I don't get out there much, so I forget. But thank you. So, I mean, it's theorized that that was a planet that got hit with a large meteor. Kaplooey. What keeps him in that line? Now, I'm sure there's an answer out this. This feels like it should be pretty basic science. But why aren't they going like this and then like this when going around the sun? Why are they all on essentially the same plane with a few degrees difference? And are all solar systems that way? They can't be all that way, considering we have things like binary suns that go around each other and then things orbit those. Yeah, there's got to be. Okay. Tom, I'm not familiar with that question, but it reflects left to right, not top to bottom? Interesting. But Tom, what I assume there is something to do with the mass, the core, and when things go around, probably the magnetic poles also. Okay, Kennedy, that's a good, simple answer. That makes sense, because if the sun is spinning this way and things went like this, it would actually throw it off. And yeah, the magnetic poles might have something to do with the aligning also of anything orbiting an object. So that's why the moon follows the equator, if you will, as opposed to going from pole to pole and following the prime meridian or something. Sure, it's a pretty simplistic answer. Andrea just cooked something. It smelled good this weekend, but 2 rotate in the opposite direction of each other. Okay, So if the sun is rotating clockwise on its axis, then all the planets are going counterclockwise. Is that what you're telling me? Gotta verify that while I ramble on. So yesterday was really busy. Got up, had breakfast with John of Conquest Comics, a Max RPG in here. Went to his shop for a bit, hung out, headed back home, picked up a movie. Andrew got some stuff from the store. I picked up a movie from Redbox. So $2, not $20. I do need to get a copy of Avengers 4 and Deadpool 2 though. But we rented Tag with Jeremy Renner and John Hamm. Pretty decent movie. Fun. Worth a watch, especially out of Redbox. If Andrea liked it enough, we'll purchase it at some point. Okay, so then got home, mowed the lawn, which I'm on 2 acres, and with all the rain and the wet ground, I couldn't mow for a couple of weeks, so we're looking at 15-inch or higher grass. And that's the grass. That doesn't count the weeds that are 3 feet tall. So mow that down. Took about 3 hours because I had it. Like sometimes you could skip the weed whacker. Not yesterday. Weed whacker had to be employed. And then, of course, you pull out the leaf blower to clean up all your scraps that are flopping everywhere. I also, my driveway is a gravel-ish driveway. Dirt more than gravel. But it had gravel at one time. I find pieces now and then. And I normally spray it down with weed killer. So we actually have a driveway. Instead, it's because I haven't got weed killer this year. Can I get that on Amazon? I have been thinking about adding to the Amazon list below the video here, like pipe cleaners. Because there's some people who want to send me things, but they don't want to send, a $20 or $50 or a $200 thing, and I get that. But like pipe cleaners, I can always use those. But I'm particular about the kind I use. Okay, for everybody listening later and not in the live show, Kennedy says, no, they go around the sun in the same direction in the orbits. Got that. But Venus spins on its own axis in the opposite direction of the Earth, for example. So, are you also saying Mars is spinning opposite of Earth, and then Jupiter is spinning the same as Earth, or because there was that planet in between Mars and Jupiter, are you saying they're like cogs, where the first one will spin this way, the second one will spin the opposite way, third one the same as the first, each odd one is the same, each even one is the same? And if that's the case, is Jupiter actually turning the same direction as Mars because there was a planet in between them? I've got a friend who is an astrophysicist. I should just call him up and get him on the show and talk about this stuff. He's been on the show a few times before. Oh, so after mowing, all the same but Venus and Uranus. Okay. I never remember. Neptune is the furthest out. Uranus, if you don't want to call it Uranus, Uranus is between Saturn and Neptune, right? Can we just put them in alphabetical order? Just shuffle these shit around. Anyhow. Interesting. It'd be cool to fast forward and just see how they all fly off into space someday. Okay, so yeah, I mowed, and it's interesting, Tom. I wasn't aware of that either. Okay, I'm gonna be stupid here. I don't even know what a retrograde rotation means. So let me just use the Google. Boink, boink. So all 8 planets in the solar system orbit the sun in the direction that the sun is rotating. which is counterclockwise when viewed from above the sun's north pole. 6 of the planets also rotate on their axis in the same direction. Exceptions, okay, so it's just going the opposite direction. Then, why is Uranus retrograde and rotating on its side? Lies 98 degrees off its orbitable plane with the sun. So why? That's an interesting article. That's right, it does have a ring, doesn't it? Does it? Or is it? So I'm reading it. It's going through the technicals of what the degrees are of Uranus' spin axis lies 98 degrees off the orbital plane with the sun. No other planet is tilted more than 30. Earth rotating at 23, Jupiter 3, Saturn, Neptune 29, Venus technically even more tilted because it rotates clockwise when all other planets rotate counterclockwise, meaning essentially it's turned upside down. That's interesting. Oh, you know what? Quit with your pop-up, annoying ass. So they're saying it has proven tricky to figure out why Uranus is sideways. It's just fun to say, really. Astronomers once assumed a giant planet several times Earth-size smashed into Uranus in the early solar system. Flipping it, problem with that, would have left all of Uranus's moons in the original orbital plane. They're also tilted 98 degrees. Found the current positions of Uranus's moons could be explained if the planet was struck when it was still surrounded by a protoplanetary disk. But it still doesn't work according to simulation. This, however, opens up a more basic quandary. Notion of Uranus suffering multiple giant collisions flies in our face at our current theories of planet formation. Okay, so they just don't know why is what it boils down to. They're figuring it out. Okay. There were 9 planets. Now they're talking about finding a 9th planet out there in that debris field at the edge of the solar system. Interplanet Janet. She's a galaxy girl and all that. That feels like a B-52 song. And I know it's lyrics, but I don't remember from where. So Tom, clue me in if you are so inclined. So here's how to see all 8 planets in one night this week. Well, the first one you're standing on, so look down. Unless you fall on your face, then just kind of open your eyes. Look at the sky live, which I think is an app. And something unusual about our solar system is obvious. Most of the planets are clustered in the same half of the solar system. The exception is Mercury, one closest to the Sun. It's only possible to glimpse it just before sunrise. However, the other 7 are easy to spot. Obviously, Earth is easiest. You can observe them in order of their closeness to the Sun. Here's the timetable. So about 45 minutes before sunrise all this week until Sunday the 9th, it's possible to see Mercury. Hey, Joey! Kennedy says one easy way is to use a phone app like Skyview and find the planet, stars, and constellations. Yeah. I can't do it around here so well. The app, yes, I can use. But to see them with the raw eye, I have too much tree coverage around here, and I can't see things close to the horizon. So, highest level it ever gets above the eastern horizon in the pre-dawn sky on August 26th, but if you look low in the northeastern sky, about 7 degrees above the horizon this week, you can see it. It'll just look like a teeny orange-yellow light. but it's sinking into the sun's glare and being visible by the 9th. Okay, so November 6th, the next time you won't see it, and Jupiter and Venus won't be. Okay. So after sunset, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars all visible together for a couple hours. Gets even better because they're all brilliantly placed for you to get on with observing right after dark. If you guys are interested, I will drop this article. I'm not going to read through it. It's basically just telling you when to stare. So let me just throw that there and call that done. Because there's not going to be much to discuss here. It is strictly educational and informational. See, is there any other articles in here? SpaceX's next Falcon Heavy launch gets closer to reality with booster nose cone arrival. Terahertz spectroscopy enters the single molecule regime. Nicely done. Quantum weirdness and chicken or egg paradox. Oh, I'm curious about that. And causality disappears at the flick of a switch. It could. I tell you what, that guy is going to pop ahead of everybody else. What? Okay, so causality disappears at the flick of a switch is the article headline. The sub-headline: researchers demonstrate superpositions using a device compromising a single atom. Scientists have succeeded in observing one of the strangest predictions of quantum theory, the breakdown of causality. In the macro world, causality is a fundamental property. If one thing happens, it causes another to follow it. For instance, you turn the water on, you turn the tap on, water flows out. If a drum is struck, sound is heard. If this happens, then that happens. On a quantum level, however, cause and effect breaks down. The weirdness of quantum mechanics means that events can happen without a set order. So they constructed a teeny machine. This would be Jackie Romero and their colleagues. Constructed a teeny machine known as a photonic quantum switch, essentially a gate mechanism built from a single atom. How do you do that? It can be turned on and off by using a single proton. I just want to know how they do that. Just like the nanotechnology, they can't be individual robots. We can't make microscopic robots. I mean, we're still working on microchips. And they're still huge compared to what they should be. Okay, anyhow, we'll set that aside for the moment. Such switches were first designed in 2014 by Harvard scientists. Okay, they're critical components for future secure quantum computers. Essentially, by altering the state of a single atom, the flow of photons can be opened or closed. Yeah, this would speed things up incredibly. So they used a quantum photonic switch to demonstrate that two possible operations, dubbed A and B, can exist in superposition of their two possible orders. By changing the polarization of the photons, the scientists were able to demonstrate that one did not need to precede the other. In essence, the two operations could happen in any sequence, a condition known as indefinite causal order. Huh. So they're going to give an example here. Romero says, take the example of your daily trip to work when you travel partly by bus and partly by train. Normally, You take the bus and the train, or the other way around. In our experiment, both these events can happen first. It makes me wonder that if perhaps we just can't see something so small that it's definitive which one comes first or after. Or are we talking about breaking the time travel loop if we break things down far enough? Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so what I have figured out is I'm on Google News, and I'm on the science section, I believe. Yes, science. So you have one article, and then you have another article. And the other article is the same exact article, but different headline. So Gizmodo yesterday put up giant Antarctic iceberg makes dramatic about face. The second headline, which apparently was put up today, the other one was put up yesterday, says trillion-ton iceberg that cracked off Antarctica last year, spinning and heading for a huge collision. One is much more dramatic. The next one, Newsweek, says climate change is about to transform Earth into an unrecognizable alien landscape. But then the Inquisitor news, which Inquisitor is not even spelled right, it's missing a vowel at the end. Climate change could greatly alter vegetation in the next century or two, study warns. I think I am done with science for the day. Let's go to entertainment news, see if there's anything good there. Nope, something about The Bachelor. Okay, one of the guys who was on the Cosby Show apparently now works at Trader Joe's. This is like the meek boyfriend of one of the girls. Jeffrey Owens is the actor. Apparently, somebody decided, it's like CNN and these other things are just grabbing other people's stories, retitling it, and putting it up. So, somebody took a picture of him working as a cashier at Trader Joe's, and some folks mocked him. And his supporters came forward and went, hey, chill the hell out. And basically he said, don't do job shaming, guys. Don't. It's there's honor in work. And actors and celebrities rushed to defend the actor. And Owens told ABC it was really overwhelming in a good way. Tyler Perry, filmmaker Tyler Perry, tweeted a job offer to Jeffrey Owens after the interview aired. And Owens told Good Morning America on Tuesday, I feel like I'm more of a celebrity now than I've ever been. I'm more of a celebrity now than when I was actually a celebrity. Probably true. Chris Rankin, who is in the Harry Potter franchise, came to his defense on Twitter, saying, I worked in Weatherspoon's kitchen after being in Harry Potter. I need a job, no shame in that. And you know what? I really enjoyed it. You do what you need to do, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. That's right, Owens played Elvin Thibodeau, son-in-law of Bill Cosby's character. Okay. He also has appeared on Always Sunny in Philadelphia and That's So Raven. He's worked Trader Joe's in Clifton, New Jersey for 15 months. He was on Lucifer in 2017. You know, I don't know why anybody would mock this. But maybe that's because I'm working while I'm trying to make it. People are dicks, that's why. Let's see what else we got in entertainment. Oh no. Aretha Franklin's family slams pastor for offensive eulogy. Sounds like good hot gossip. Okay, so family, friends, musicians, and religious political leaders attended the Celebration of Life service, which was also live streamed with portions broadcast by major networks. It's very true, Kennedy. In his eulogy, he spoke on the state of Black America, saying it lost its soul and Franklin was calling on a race to turn its direction around. Referenced black on black crime, killings in particular. You know, it sounds like he basically turned her eulogy into his chance to... Tom, I don't know if you're talking about Kennedy's comment or what I'm reading about, but it's a lot funnier if you're talking about his comment. I don't know. Jasper Williams, is that the same guy? I don't know, Kennedy. But it sounds like he just basically turned this into his chance to get up and work his agenda. And not that it's not a good agenda, you know, though I can see how some people get cranky about it. But the bottom line is, it's not your time or place. So I can't blame. His words are fine. It's just not the right time or place. Yeah, he used to get attention. And it's a bit of a douche move. Yeah, it's, you know, I kept on wanting to say something like that there, Kennedy, talk from the pulpit. But I was trying to avoid it because it was, direct. Uh-oh. Trump reignites threat to news broadcasters. Let me read this one. Henry Cavill will lead Netflix Witcher series. What is Witcher? Anybody know what Witcher is? No, this one I'm interested in. And I'll read. So first one. Trump reignites threat to news broadcaster. He again raised a threat to broadcast license of TV stations that air news programming he dislikes. Quote, NBC fake news, which is under intense scrutiny over their killing of the Harvey Weinstein story, is now fumbling around making excuses for their probably highly unethical conduct. Trump wrote on Twitter Tuesday, I have long criticized NBC and their journalistic standards, worse than even CNN. look at their license. So Trump was referring to recent conflicting accounts between NBC and journalist Ronan Farrow over Farrow's investigation into sexual harassment and assault allegedly committed by disgraced film producer Harvey Weinstein. Trump himself has been accused of having media allies like the National Enquirer kill unflattering stories. Trump first suggested pulling broadcast licenses last year, a call many dismissed as an empty threat. But Ajit Pai has avoided criticizing Trump directly, but he pledged his commitment to the First Amendment, has noted that the FCC lacks legal authority to revoke broadcast licenses over news content. Democratic Commissioner Jessica Rosenworcel quickly moved to reject Trump's suggestion. Quote, "One more time, this is not how it works." End quote, she tweeted Tuesday, providing a link to the agency's broadcast rules. I get the feeling this is just bullying at its best. He's cock of the walk, and he throws his shoulders when he goes through a crowd. Okay, so Netflix Witcher series apparently is an animated series. I think. Okay, it's based on the fantasy novels rather than the wildly popular video game adaptations. So I think this is going to be live action. Okay. God, I hope it's better than the Shannara Chronicles. That was very disappointing. Very disappointed in the Shannara Chronicles. Now here's something else relating to, I guess it touches on the previous article. LA District Attorney declines sex crime cases against Kevin Spacey, Anthony Anderson, and Steven Seagal. Maybe Steven Seagal is protected because he's now, working for Trump. In the matter of Spacey and Seagal cases, the statute of limitations has passed according to authorities. Anderson's case, the reporting party declined to be interviewed by authorities for the case. Spacey has been accused by numerous men, both in the U.S. and abroad, of sexual assault. This particular case was alleged to have occurred in '92. The victim was not a minor at the time of the alleged crime, according to authorities. See, but I thought, with Spacey in particular, I don't even know who Anthony Anderson is. Oh, he's familiar. I think I've seen him and stuff. But with Spacey, I thought basically he propositioned a younger man who basically went up to his room and went to sleep in Spacey's bed, and then was turned down, and that was the end of that. And this is back in '92, so this is 28 years ago. See, the thing is, no matter what happens here, there is the potential Tom, I have no idea. I'm skimming another article about it. Okay. Here's what I was talking about. And if I see anything of what you're asking about there, I'll read it out loud for you. The first person to come forward with an allegation was Star Trek Discovery star Anthony Rapp, who claims Spacey made sexual advances towards him in his New York apartment in 1986 when Rapp was 14. Spacey responded to the accusation with a highly controversial statement, but has remained silent over subsequent allegation investigations. Now, if I'm to understand correctly, if my information was correct from what other people told me, that highly controversial statement was, yes, had a party, kid went upstairs into my bed. I went up there and went, hey, how you doing? Kid went, no, not interested. And that was the end of it. Does this man deserve to have his career ruined over this? Because it's not sexual assault. But yeah, apparently an investigation both in the US and Europe over alleged forced sexual encounters. Though this first one was a sexual advance. I don't know. Because I'm seeing conflicting information right in these two different articles that are both from HollyReporter.com. And maybe I'm just a bit fond of Kevin Spacey. Yeah, you're probably right, Kennedy. I've just enjoyed Spacey's work. And maybe that's why I'm a little whatever I am with this one. Okay. Beyonce's mom posts sweet throwback photo. Oh, I don't care. Oh, that's sweet, though. Heartfelt note for her 37th birthday. Beyonce is only 37? Damn. Hey, Win, how are you? Win says this type of stuff that would have been relegated to the tabloids 30 years ago, and Kennedy says, but I believe Spacey said he was very drunk, but denies the rap at 14 incident. I thought he said he was very drunk. He basically propositioned kid. Kid said no. That was the end of it. But I have not read that account myself. I was told that by somebody else. So there's no reason I should believe them over what you're saying there. And as for, I'm good with stuff being called out. But let's make it legitimate. And let's not ruin people's lives before they're convicted and found guilty of the crime. Because even if it comes out right now that Kevin Spacey is innocent of all charges, or any of these other people, except Steven Seagal, he's got his career in the, What did you say there, Kennedy? Yeah, I think there's been spokespeople and the like. Yeah, I'm just saying I don't have full information because I didn't look it up myself. I got it from people who I trust. But people are people. And by the time we're third generation information, it's not anywhere near clean information at that point. So, I guess I could look up more technology stuff. Did I go through all the technology stuff? Hottest robot vacuum. Oh, Win, since you're here now, Microsoft is finally going to make the Skype UI good for the things people use. So yeah, basically they realize they're losing all the people, and this article specifically mentions that they screwed up. Exactly. That they screwed up trying to bring Snapchat-like in features and removing the older features and moving the classic Skype away. Hold on a second. I had a message from an old friend. So, let's go ahead and just send him what I'm doing right now. There we go. So, in case Sean tunes in, we'll talk to him in a moment. Question for you. A friend of mine trying to break into writing more, focuses a lot on steampunk genre. Would love to talk to someone who's been doing this more and published. Would you mind giving Me giving her there we go. That's no problem. Okay. Set that down. But yeah, they're now trying to backpedal because, we switched to Discord over this shit. And they're like, oh no, we're going to put the classic Skype back and we're just going to try to... Too late. Too late. I'm done. I'm the quiet guy who nods, smiles, and wanders out the door and never comes back. But then I talk to my friends. So, there we go. Carol King. Okay, I don't know what that is. I'll Google that. Let's see, what is that? American composer. What'd they write? Successful female songwriter latter half of the 20th century. Oh. Written or co-written 118 pop hits on the Billboard Hot 100 between 55 and 99. She is currently 76 years old. Songs: It's Too Late, You've Got a Friend, So Far Away. Nice. That's Tapestry. Okay, if that's who you're talking about, Tom, good stuff. Gotcha. Okay. Don't stop references like that. It's, but that song came out the year I was born, basically. But don't stop making references like that. It just makes me live and learn a little. So I am not complaining about it. Now, before I started, I think I'm done with the articles. I think I'm just going to chit-chat with you guys. I might even have some rants written down that I can go into, but I think I'm good for the moment. Before I got on with you guys, I was working on optimizing my YouTube a little. I've had a few people, besides just posting the shows on YouTube, I would do. It's gonna rain, Toey, or it's 100% humidity. Do you really need your sprinklers on today with 100% humidity? Okay, hurry back. Then I'll talk about this because it may be relevant to you. So in a minute, I'm just going to go through my email and see what we got here. I'm not going to read it out to you because I don't think it's interesting. It's my gaming email, so they like free PDF of the week and stuff like that. So it looks like there's a homebrew adventure that's free this week. Not too worried about that. I tend to make my own. Then a survey link for that. Okay. Oh. So yeah, I was... Oh, that's right. I'm waiting for... Okay, you buzzed. Why did you buzz? Were you the email? Is that what you're doing? I guess it was my email. Okay. So I'll just... See, I'm torn if I should do this stuff. But I have to do it sometime. They answer my phone and stuff. What sounds interesting, Tom? Her moving her sprinklers around? Oh, yeah, right there. Man, I just know why my cats like it now. Just want a friend that comes over every 2 or 3 days, scratches my back for 15 minutes, and then leaves. I tell you what, once it's in the budget, I will have regular massages. By regular, I mean once a month. Oh, do you want the link for it? Give me a second. I'll go pull it up and send it over to you. I'll drop it right there. I get their newsletter. So about once a week, every 10 days, something like that. I get this from them. Let me go here. I don't know if you heard me earlier, but you'll notice PDF, not PDF file or ATM, an ATM, not ATM machine. Should I be upset about that? Am I? See, I'm pretty flexible on some of this stuff. Okay, there's the link. And if you look below that, you'll see a bunch of other stuff you can get for free. Green Goblin, that's why they call it a tuna fish. What the hell are you talking about? I feel like I said something and I should know what you're talking about. But then again, could just be random. Yeah, hard to say. It's and when Win gets back, I'll go into talking more about the YouTube. In the meantime, Tom, you heard me earlier when I was talking about if you have Tuesday or Wednesday night free. Gotcha. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out there, Steven, if I call it tuna fish or do I call it tuna. Am I going to have a can of tuna or am I going to have a can of tuna fish? Do I want a tuna sandwich or a tuna melt, or do I want a tuna fish sandwich or tuna melt? Or tuna fish salad sandwich? That always confused me because I don't feel like those things are a salad. It makes me want to look up the definition of a salad and check on that. Well, kitty cats are just adorable to call them that. Do you always say tuna fish? I'm guessing it's probably a regional thing, like the, soda pop or Coke thing, or that sort of stuff. So it's probably regional. Weeknights generally not good. Gotcha. Well, definitely more important than the game. Really? Well, I guess if you're working 10 hours, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, because usually by 9 a.m. my time, you're like, I'm out of here, and yeah, that'd be about right then. Yeah, fine. It's, no big deal. Just thought I'd offer it to somebody who apparently I get along with and has shares our sense of humor, ours being the group in general. Steven, what are you doing online now? Or is it just later than I realize? Is this when you usually pop on? And in that case, Drop Some should be coming around pretty soon. Yeah, no problem. No problem. It's and it's one of those things, if you were available at a time and Joey plays too, we could talk about getting Joey in there too. Otherwise, he could sit off camera and just make fun of you while you nerd out. Late at work to teach a seminar. It's always better to teach a seminar than a seminar. I don't know who would want to come to one of those. See ya. Have a good one, Steven. Don't you hate it when you feel something moving on your leg and you're unsure if it's just the hair on your leg wandering around, or else if you've got something on your leg? Should you just run your hand down it to calm it down, or should you just get up, leap, and run across the room screaming? It's hard to say. So, let's see here. In about 40 minutes, I'm going to end this and do a little bit of work. Grumpy old curmudgeon who has no patience for an online game. But this wouldn't be an online game. We would be online playing a game, but you know what I'm talking about, tabletop role-playing like D&D. But not like the Star Wars video. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But I believe you about Joey. I'm a grumpy old curmudgeon, too. Wonder how long Wynn's going to play with her sprinklers. I imagine right now, considering it feels like it's 106 in our area, she is running through them, leaping and giggling. Yep, I think that's a possibility with Wynn. I have a cat on my lap and I can't go get anything else to drink. I don't have much soda left anyway. It's probably going to end up being water. Hey, for all you gamer guys and girls, did I show you my I got dice off the Wish app, and now I got my dice bags, and they're teeny little dice bags. They're so adorable. Let's try to hang them where you can see them. There you go. But now I've got, an extra 6 sets of dice that I don't need. But I'll be damned if I'm not going to keep them. Okay, Win, welcome back. I kind of held off talking about this in case it's of interest to you. Got a bunch of those exact bags from Amazon a few weeks ago. Well, let me tell you this. Are you familiar with the Wish app, Tom? And the reason I ask is because with these here, no, they were not. I saw the D24 sets, but I did not buy any because I don't have a use for a D24, so I instead just bought what I knew, which is the set of 7 dice, a 4, 6, 8, 210 for percentile, a 12, and a 20. Now, these dice bags, I want to say I ordered 2 sets, paracord, multi-tool, tiger hook tool, outdoor 21 multi-tool. I got a thing for multi-tools. Here we go. 10 times small velvet black bags. Let me poke on this product. Artichoke! Good to see you, Artie. It's, are those cats or furry handbags? Well, they start out as the former, but with a little work, could be the latter. So yeah, it's right here. These were free for 10 bags, and you only pay shipping, and the shipping was $2. So I got 20 of these for $2, I think, because I think I got 2 sets of them. So yeah, I did not look at the sizing. My own fault there. But they barely hold a set. Oh, no, Kennedy. About Facebook. I dropped off Facebook. I deleted my account. Well, deactivated. They don't let you delete it. This is something Facebook has been a long back and forth with. Is it worth keeping? And when I looked at my Twitch numbers, see, there's one set. Fit it right in there. So, yeah, basically we just went, it's too much negativity and bullshit and we're done. And got rid of Facebook. I also looked at my Twitch numbers to see where my viewers are coming from, and Facebook, over the past 3 months, total had less than 1%. Even though I'm posting on it in 4 places multiple times a week, I'm getting less than 1%, which means their algorithm is crap and nobody's seeing my posts, so why bother? Just not worth it. Artie, how are you? Good to see you. How's the weather in Ireland? You got Celsius there, don't you? Let me let you enjoy what we're having today. Give me a second while I set it up to Celsius, because we're just Fahrenheit over here. Don't ask me why. We haven't gone to Fahrenheit and metric, but we haven't. Oh, and then when I need to ramble on about that stuff for you. Okay, so Artie, today it is 31 degrees, but it feels like it's 38. Okay, let me go through comments here. Kennedy says, I'll check on Discord more often. Now, Kennedy, I do have Facebook Messenger still. So that's that. You can message me there, but yeah, I'm avoiding Facebook until I can just not be on it. Tom says, very, very nice. Mine was 2 groups of 6 sets, each having 10 dice. Okay. Hard to pass up the deal. Win says, interesting. Just read about the Wish app because I'd never heard of it. Sells stuff direct from Chinese factories. Yes, it does. And Win, I have had stuff show up in 2 days or 6 weeks. It can vary. And any time where it hasn't shown up within the amount of time they tell you it will, I've contacted them and they immediately send out another one. And then often the first one will arrive still. And they're like, just keep it. We're done. You're good. Have a good day. Enjoy both of them. What I tell people is it's the crap we buy at Walmart, but direct from China. If you buy any clothing there, check their sizing chart every single time. It is often, in their own words, Asian sizing. So I'm wearing like a 3 to 5X. See, there you go. Tom, you don't think you ever saw a post. Kennedy says, I'll post that I'll be on crypto, and I think very few people see it. Artie says, I was laying on my bed eating pizza earlier. Because you're a fat mess. I tell you what, Artie, I clicked on your Twitch profile. In that little teeny picture that's the size of like literally my thumbnail, you look lovely. You're very pretty. But you look down and your right breast was fully out of your dress, and that just sums me up. See, I should have read the rest of that before offering the comment. Because now you're just that much hotter. It's when a random boob wanders out of your shirt and starts looking around the room for something to do. Yeah, there's no downside there. Like, at least an American guy's dream. So it's 11 Celsius there, 51.8 Fahrenheit. That's some beautiful temperatures right there. It's well, you know, I am on the east coast of the U.S., so you are quite a distance, and you're just a ravishing beauty from 3,000 miles away. That's all I can say about that. Okay. Wynn says, I'm curious if Wish is cheaper than buying from AliExpress, also direct from Chinese factories. And let me know, Wynn, because I probably spend $20-30 a month on Wish, and then they all come in little separate packages, and it's like getting little treasures, and I barely spent anything. It's better than the dollar store. And generally they're decent. Look even better in the dark. Well, thank goodness it's dark in Ireland right now then, isn't it? It's What kind of pizza was it? I'm curious if you have Americanized pizza, because when I went to Russia, pizza was very different. And I know most across a lot of Europe, you can get some very different toppings than what you get in the U.S. here, Artie. Okay, Win. Talking to you, and then I'll go back to... Oh, you know about it, do you, Artie? AliExpress and Wish are pretty comparable price/quality. Fast Tech is also along the same line. Thanks, appreciate that. Good to know, so I don't have to change what I'm doing. So I was creating an outro for my YouTube videos, thinking I could just slap them on after I upload directly from Twitch. That's not going to work out, though. Not unless there's something I've missed and I have to go look at that. So I'm looking at these adjustments. I'm looking at SEO stuff. And I've had a few people say they missed my older short videos where I did a 2 to 3 minute video, usually comical, or a 5-6 minute video where, like in this show, I do a bit of a conversation on a topic. So I guess I'm going to do some more of those, or at least look at clipping this, bits out of this. There was more to this. There was a reason I was waiting, looking at SEO stuff, have some funny videos ideas. I am seeing a bump in what people are listening to via iTunes and whatnot. Not a huge bump. I'm not raking thousands of downloads every day or anything. See, I originally went with that, realized it didn't matter. Put on longer ones, didn't matter. Put on the 3-hour ones, didn't matter. But I do want to say that I think I got more growth when I had shorter videos. Now, it didn't matter if it was a 10-minute video or a 2-minute video. Both had about equivalent growth. But Yeah, just the 3-hour shows has pretty much shot the growth down. We're down to nothing at this point in time. Hold on a second. Boink. Flipping over here to where I can see. Yeah, I'm at 304 subscribers. Let me go to analytics. Check my subscriber growth. If I can find it. Interaction reports. Yeah, there we go. Let's go to subscribers. Now, we're looking at the last 28 days. Yeah, I've had 2 new subscribers and 1 2 unsubscribes. So the bottom line is I'm not gaining a hell of a lot. I'm kind of holding steady. And let's see if I can switch out that time frame. Let's do all of 2018. See where we started. Well, apparently I did okay in 2018. Domino's got half chicken, bell pepper, pepperoni, bacon, and tomato, the other half pepperoni. Now I've got to compare the 2 damn lists. Pepperoni on both, bacon on both, ham, mushroom. Okay. No olives though, huh? Not an olive guy myself, but apparently a lot of other people like it. You know what? I want to check it. Let's do the past 3 months. See if I could do that. There we go. Last 90 days. Yeah, I've gained over the last 90 days 20 subscribers and lost 10. So yeah. I'm not a big olive fan either there. I'm kind of with you there, Artie. So, not going to argue with you on that one. Okay, let's put this down. Where are we at? 533? So, Wynn says the pizza I had Saturday out with friends was artichoke, sun-dried tomato, and pine nuts. How was that, Wynn? I don't know about the pine nuts. I mean, the artichoke, I'm like, okay, sun-dried tomato, fine. You did, and love olives, too. All right, we're about to have a chick fight on Twitch over an ocean. Artie versus Toey. If we take the E's off the end, we have Art versus Toe. Art-toe? Toe-art? Barely noticeable. They were buried in the cheese. Were they crunchy or were they kind of soft and blended in that way? Did they add a flavor? See, I'm also the guy, as much as I love Chinese food, I don't like peanuts or other nuts in my food. I like nuts. That sounds wrong. Or right, depending on your view. I like nuts, but I don't like them on my salad and my Chinese food. It does. Toe art sounds like a fetish thing. It's I've got my toenail pierced. You what? Maybe added a little meaty texture. Okay, then that might be fine. Tom says Joey brought some pine nut cookies, or brought some pine nut cookies back from Chicago when he took his sister to the airport. They were quite good. Chicken with cashews. Yeah, I just don't like that extra little crunch in my stuff. It's not the flavor. I don't mind the flavors. I just don't want that crunch. I think when I eat nuts, I don't want anything else in my mouth but some nuts. That's that. Oh, Artie, if you need to know, I've had pine nuts on pizza in the form of pesto, and peanuts are amazing in pad thai. Artie, this is Mr. Bitey Otter right here. This is Zazzles. I have Cuddlefish the cat right here. See if I can get him to poke it. There's his nose. There's his nose. Good fish. And over there is giraffe. And back here behind me on that chair, that's squirrel. So what's that? 5 out of 7 potential cats in the room. Here, Andrea Lechat creeping around in the other room. She says, "Nuh-uh." So let's see. My Monday visiting cat. Oh, that's right. Okay. That's hilarious. Oh, for those of you that don't know, Talking Toei, win. I should do a shout out. Why haven't we done a shout out for your channel, Toei?
Here's number 7.
Number 7? Oh, there's number 7. Well, I'm still missing Harry. That's Goblin in her. Oh, you can't see her. A little that way. There you go. That's Goblin. Yes, Artie, very good. Sheldon did name a cat Zazzles in Big Bang Theory, and that's where that name came from. Before that, the people we got him from, the 3-year-old girl named her, and it was Shark Girl.
Lava Girl.
It's Lava Girl. It's what she named the cat, not what the little girl's name was. Hold on, doing a shout out for Talking Toei, and then I'll tell the story about Talking Toei and her Monday visiting cat.
Oh.
Toei's got good dry sense of humor, guys. Very wry, and the Wreckfest. What the hell is a Wreckfest, Toei? Okay, so
I think it's a car thing.
her Monday visiting cat took Labor Day off and visited her Tuesday morning. Yeah, I know. It's like it went to a Labor Day cookout or something.
Oh,
It just could have.
so funny.
It's this little girl called Lava Girl named her cat Shark Boy. Are you referring to yourself in third person again, Artie? Artichoke, the Irish chick. She came back and hung out, and when I screwed up with the
What did she
Zazzle's
say
name,
this
this little girl called Lava Girl named her cat Shark Boy.
It's from Spy
she's-
Kids.
I know, but she's typing like 3-year-olds really talk. To hear a 3-year-old talking. She ate pizza on her bed and her boob got out.
Did you catch it? Did you call the police? You know what? Is it on parole? What the hell?
Well, it's not on Twitch, I'll tell you that. That'd be a whole nother game. Oh, no, I know about Lava Girl and Shark Boy. That's why I screwed it up and said Shark Girl, and the Andrea corrected me to Lava Girl. Wreckfest is a demolition derby game with tractors and combine harvest. Of course it is.
I think I saw her play that before. It's
good stuff. Well, it's good stuff when she plays it.
It's like out here.
Yeah.
Her game is a simulator for out here with the combines and the...
See, as for the Lava Girl and Shark Boy, I'll basically watch anything with, what's his name in it?
What's his name?
I don't know. Your titties are always trying to escape. Titty on the loose. Is that your party tit? Calm your tits. He played Puss in Boots.
Mm-hmm.
He played in
What's his
13th
name?
Warrior. Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, that's it.
I once accidentally flashed a delivery person.
Yeah, short snack.
Next time, do it on purpose. When you go, here's your tip. Tip of my titty! And then slam the door. Maybe she'll be happy about it. Oh, I need to stand up. I am warm in that chair, and this is, I think, a polyester shirt. Oh. Oh. Where is Bob? Bob would have been very interested to hear about your boobscapades. Your boobescapades. The hell is his name? He played Puss in Boots. He was in 13th Warrior. He was in Tank Girl and Shark Kid. Okay, hold on. I gotta go touch my Google. Let's see here. There we go. Just give me that. Director Chris Miller, don't need to know that. Oh, Antonio Banderas. Waiting for the delivery guy. If he doesn't turn up soon, I'm going to have to turn on the sprinklers by the front door. Or turn them on right as he's leaving. I'm sure he'd appreciate the cooling watering. Unless if it's really hot because it's in the hose and that water was staying in the hose, you can turn it on, it's like shower hot for like that first 8 seconds and then it's ice cold. Do you really need to water your lawn today? It's 100% humidity. Don't you think the air is just like, we got it? And Artie says, like he usually helps me lift the groceries out of the crate, but he was just standing watching and I was like, rude. And then after he left, I was leaning over to grab something and realized the girls were granting an audience. Oh, is that happening back there? Sazla, Mr. Body Otter? This one here communicates through growling and hissing because she was raised with small children and large dogs. But she's still a sweetie. And this one here is just... he's just not aggressive. Had it aerated and seeded, so we have to keep it damp for 21 days. Well, if this humidity is going to be damp whether you want it to be or not. But yeah, I get the sprinklers. And at least you're doing it towards the end of the day instead of at high noon. That's smarter. Oh, I had a pipe and cigar catalog I wanted to look at. What page is this on? Hold on, need the reading glasses. What is this song? I don't like it. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So this is what caught my eye on this one. The Stanwell, which is a pretty decent pipe. Oh, there's Squirrel. Come on, Squirrel. Do you need some room to get by? There you go. There's Squirrel. She's always nervous about everything. But if you look at those, Stanwell's a pretty good pipe. And I decided I wanted to look. I don't necessarily have the money to spend right now. Do they not give me a page number that they're on? You think they could have had their photo guy edit that shit in pretty quickly and easily. What the hell? Look at that pipe. Now this is a great name for pipe company. It's Butts Chokin'. Not even kidding. Hold on while I set that up for you. Okay, so it's that one there. Let me see if I can make it focus. I don't know if you can read those words. But that top pipe right there with the big round ball on it. What the hell is that? I don't know. It looks like a two-piece anyway, and I like a... It looks like the bowl is separate from the stem. Pretty much the same here, Tom. It sounds like we have similar tastes in pipes. But I really wish Viking pipes. There's some basic stuff there. Catalog, somehow I've got a plus-size mailing list and I'm getting magazines full of stuff that'll never fit me. Because you're a teeny thing. You can send them over to Artie's Boobs. Artie's Boobs might like some plus-size magazines. Where the hell is Bob? Why isn't he here for this conversation? Romas. Is there really not a page number anywhere on here? That was just not the smartest move. Well, they do have Gloriana Series Black. Average price for the 6x16 18 box there, $87. You should, Tom, you should go get this magazine. Magazines are fun to look at. They're horrible for the environment, but they are a little more fun to look at instead of going through a website for me. Because I can do it while, well, anywhere in the house. Let's just go with that. Well, I got some meerschaums starting at $60, and basically they're like, they start at $60, go to our website to see more. Which I don't really have a problem with that. It's not a bad idea. Tom says I got my favorite pipes from That company back in 2001. Good people run into them at the Chicago show. I have never been to the Chicago show. I've only been to the Richmond show. I like Petersons. They're pretty well made. Pretty. There's a Stanwell. Is this the military big thing? Is this just Stanwell? Yeah. Like I said earlier, today I had to go without a pipe. Well, I chose to go without a pipe because of the temperatures outside. I'm just not opening a damn window today. You know, if it was this warm with less humidity, it might be different. But this is already the warmest room in the house. I wonder if I need to go in the attic if some kind of critter broke the AC venting or sat on it or crawled in it and blocked it. I don't know. I assume there'd be more smells of that last one. You know, I can sit outside in this weather and I'll be okay because there's a light breeze when I'm sitting on my porch usually, and I could definitely sit out there and enjoy a pipe, which maybe that's what I should do after we hit our 6 o'clock point here. Is go out there and have a pipe and just bring the tablet set up to, ooh, that's a pretty pipe. Savinelli has always been really good construction in my experience. Now they've got a hole, I don't like rusticated, just like you, Tom. But let me show you those two right there. I especially like the stems on those two right there. I'm leaving that up for an extra minute so Artie can take a look at my pipe. And you can buy balsa to light your pipes with. Yeah, rusticate has never been my thing. I really like the grain of a nice smooth pipe. I do like Dunhill 965. How much is that a tin? Dunhill 965. Almost $11 a tin. For less than 2 ounces. Yeah, I don't know. Here's some pretty Nordings. See, in this one here, these just, to me, just all look like crap. It looks like a beginning pipe maker went and played with that. And there's a reason they're $25. Yeah, they look like mistakes. They look like crap. Or Peterson of Dublin. Artie, are you near Dublin? Can you go take one that's cooling on the pie shelf window and send it over to me? Doubt they're much cheaper over there. Kennedy, I remember you telling me, but I don't remember what the answer was. Why can't you smoke a pipe? I know you told me some other time and I forgot. Petersons are still nice as far as I know, but then again, maybe I just have older Petersons. I got an old Peter, son. Rocky Patel makes pipe tobacco? Oh no, it makes pipes. I think. I don't know. Ah, heart problem. That's a nice ashtray. Holds 3 pipes in it. Of course, I can't imagine ever needing an ashtray that holds 3 pipes. Yeah, I never have that many. There are some funky looking pipes. Here, look at that page.
How long are you on today?
Straight up till we get onto the game. Do you need it on or? Okay. 2 Petersons left now. Did a lot of trading at shows, and they're always popular. I don't know if I even have a Peterson right now. I'd have to go look. See, I don't like those short, chubby pipes. I don't get them. Yes, that would interest her, Toey. I tell her, but she just like went into her. Is this a brass pipe? No. No, we don't need a pipe you could smoke your crack rock in. We have soda cans and glass pipes for that. Okay. So, I know it's better for the environment to just shop online, but I like a catalog. Artie must have fallen asleep, curled up to her pizza. Donio Banderas. So yeah, I think, Toey, I am going to be going back to doing the sorry, I'm thinking here. Doing shorter videos also, and yeah, working with that. See if I can get some of that. Now let's see here. Let me do this as we're about to wrap up this part of the stream. Yeah, funky nose warmers. I have too much mustache to make those a feasible choice, even with or without my mustache. I just don't. I don't know. It's just right up under that. Yeah. Okay, for everybody who is watching the live Twitch stream at twitch.tv/Talk of the Tavern, don't forget that you can also find us on Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spreaker, Stitcher, and other places. For those of you not here right now, please keep in mind if you join us at Talk of the Tavern on Twitch, you can have notifications sent to you letting you know when we go live on air. You can join our Discord channel, which is just below the video there, as well as sign up for the newsletter that I send out about once a week at the most. Also, if you'd like to support your tavern, you can donate money by clicking Tip the Tavern below. Also, you can throw bits, get merchandise, support us on Patreon, or just subscribe, which is free for you if you do it via Amazon Prime. That's pretty much that. Make sure you join us on both sides of that. And thank you, Toey. Appreciate that. And Kennedy says, just got some LED lights in the mail for making stuff. I'll be gone between 6 and 7. Need to paint part of my rocket jetpack. You know, in Steampunk for Simpletons, I actually have a thing in here on how to make a steampunk jetpack for under $30. Not that you need this, you sound like you're pretty much well on your way. Alright, cravat, how to make a cravat. How to make spats. There we go, how to make brooches. There it is, Young Adventurers Steam Pack. When you have a good night, and I'll be on for another couple hours here, and then switching over to Andrea's channel. So if you get bored, come on back. Otherwise, we will catch you very soon. And thank you for the bits. Let's see, how long have we been broadcasting for? Because what I'm going to start doing is basically doing the chat portion, this, for 3 hours. And that's what I will put over on YouTube, etc. But I want to... Yeah, there you go. It's pretty simple. It basically boils down to PVC for the most part, and a few gauges, gears, and a copper tube or two. So Tom, where's Joey now? Is he still at work for the day, or is he still in Chicago dropping his sister at various airports when nobody's looking? What's he doing? What are you staring at, kitty? You know what? I should close this just to keep the temperature that much more consistent. I don't know what you see, kitty. She is pawing at that window. Did you get it? What is it? Is it a... Oh, just some random thing. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to end this segment of the show, but I will still continue on for another 2 hours beyond this. I'll just be going and doing a few other things. Originally, the thought was gaming, but I do think I need to focus on a few other things, like making a graphic for the schedule, the new schedule that I'm planning. Possibly some stuff on YouTube, and I'll be sharing my browser view of those things so you guys can play along on the home game. I'm making an outro. Just about to finish his workday, off to pick up groceries and home to make dinner. He's making chicken soup for you tonight. Do you ever cook for him? And if you don't, doesn't matter. But I'm sure it all balances out one way or the other with the exchange of chores. I was just curious if you cook too. Like, I don't even know if I finished that story yesterday when I got home after mowing the lawn. I lit up the grill and I made chicken legs, grilled corn on the cob, some pork ribs, not the little baby back, but the big ones, and chicken wings. So we have leftovers for the next day or two, which is awesome. It's what I had for breakfast. I kind of had one of each thing. It was good. I liked it. That's another thing. Doing the long broadcast is going to be hard to find times to eat. He won't let you. You enjoy cooking. He's afraid of anything I would inflict upon him. Well, take it as an insult or take it as a situation where you don't have to cook and somebody cooks for you. So either way, I think one way is better to go than the other. I definitely go with option 2 out of the two. I love to cook, and Andrea says she can cook, she just doesn't want to. But since she moved in with me, we were dating for 4 years before she moved in. She moved in with me. Apparently, I cook more than she's used to eating, so she is now a bit distressed with, well, what happens when you eat 2-3 times a day. Have you two been together that long? It's been 20 years for the two of you. So, by the way, for listeners, he said, ever since the sun-dried tomato bagel incident in '98, I've been blackballed from the kitchen. I don't blame him. Sun-dried tomatoes are scary things. Let's see here. I am going to keep streaming here, but in just a minute, I'm going to act like I'm saying goodbye to you guys, but don't go anywhere. This is just for all the other people who are watching this on YouTube in the future. That's nice. 20 years. I want to talk about that. Hold on a second. Let me do this real quick, though. Okay, for everybody on YouTube, this is what you get. Come on over to the live channel. Join us here, as well as anybody else who's listening on Google Play, iHeartRadio, or other places. We'll catch you again next time, and you have a good one. Let's do the outro. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night. Now, hold on one second.